I'm a loser, I'm a winner, I'm the sad one who's to say, I'm the faster, I'm the favorite, I'm the left out, run away. It's the wrong way to think today, what a chance you did take today. It's the madness your drive creates, what a chance you did waste today.
From the ice-capped peaks of Colorado to the forested hills of Toronto, Canada, the Right Lane Cup Series arrives here to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. A fun, very wacky, very tricky road course where our 43 drivers will take on 26 laps here today. For the third straight year in a row, the fans have shown up and showed out a sold-out crowd here this weekend. They've all come to see the action and the perilous adventure these drivers will take. So who will rise above the top and be able to claim the win here north of the border today? We'll find out here shortly. Coming down the front straightaway, you can see just the steep elevation changes with this racetrack. I'm sure it's going to throw drivers a curveball. So let's go ahead and go trackside and get you your starting lineup and see who will start on pole today. It is Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy will start on the pole with Lane Sanders, his old rival to his outside. And then it's Angel Gutierrez in third with Zachary Fitzwater, the Penstralian, in fourth place. And it's Alexander Rowe with Peter Onjak, Joseph Shrigley with Cody Lamas, Julio Season, Ryan Reed. The two LFM teammates are in the top 10 with Andrew Thomas, the rookie, Stephen Colon, Christian Vargas, Logan Cloud and Jesse Turner, those teammates. Vince Freeze, DJ Curtis, Luke Evans, the points leader, starting in 18th with RJ Bishop and Taylor Frey rounding out your top 20. Then it's Luke Martin, Nick Breeding, Derek Hamill, Henry Thomas, Griffin Label McDermott with Tim Fiegel, Aiden Smith, Austin Murray, Alexander Phoenix, and Wyatt Junkman rounding out your top 30. Then it's Ben McDonald, James Ellison, Diego Yepes, Devin Fair, Will Parrish, Patrick Nolan, Sam England, Alex Sanvatale, Tyler Edwards, and Nick Gunther rounding out your top 40. Ryan Griffin, Charles Sanford, and Carr Screen had to go to the back after failing tech. So let's go ahead and go trackside. Get your command to start the engine. Get this race underway.
Most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome your Grand Marshals, Big Machine recording artists, Rascal Flatts.
Drivers, start your engines!
And this is going to be a very interesting front row here with Jeffrey Finguy getting his first pole of the year, Lane Sanders on the outside pole. These two are very good road course racers, among the best in the sport. The other one is that man right there, Zachary Fitzwater. These guys came up and showed out in qualifying, and now they've been paid for it by starting on the front. Of course, Angel Gutierrez, another surprise, in fourth. Also a very good road course racer. So we're coming back down here through turns 9 and turns 10. The pace car pulls onto pit lane. It's going to be Jeffrey Finguy leading us down to the green flag. 26 laps here at Canadian Tire. The green flag is out and we are racing here in Mosport. Finguy did not get a good start. Lane Sanders scoots by on the outside line, but Finguy has the preferred line coming out of turn 1. Coming up the hill and then going back down it again. Finguy and Sanders holding each other at bay. Sanders clears the 92. Meanwhile, Gutierrez trying to hold tough on Fitzwater. Fitzwater gets through the third. Peter Onjak slips into fifth ahead of Alexander Rowe. Cody Lamas, the rookie, in trouble. That's the hometown guy, Joseph Shrigley. Shrigley going up the hill. He's going to get into the 7th spot. Finguy has another chance at Sanders. He's going to try to send it down the hill into turn number 5. We'll see what he does here. Finguy tries to get there. He misses the corner. Tad, here comes Zachary Fitzwater. He's up to 3rd. Fitzwater trying to catch that 92, but Sanders is long gone up the hill. About 5, 6, 7, 8 car lengths going down in up the hill, coming back into turn number 9. See what Sanders can do here. Will Finguy be able to send it in on the 0-1? No, he won't. Lane Sanders will lead the first lap of the day. Finguy to second. Fitzwater third. Gutierrez is now under attack from Peter Onjak in the Dodge-sponsored Dodge. Onjak has been very good here. He finished top 10 last year here, and he's doing a very good job this season. Alexander Rowe has lost a little bit of ground. He's got now in the clutches of Joseph Shrigley. A good run for him. Shrigley is actually locked into the field now. Top 35 in bonus points. Very exciting for that number 63 team. Cody Lamas, the rookie, now has to fend off Ryan Reed. That's Andrew Thomas. We haven't spoke much of Thomas all season. He was able to qualify in 10th, and he stayed 10th. A very good start for him. Julio Caesar, another noted road course racer, is right up here. You see right up front, Shrigley missed the corner. Now he's going to have to deal with Cody Lamas. Up the hill, they're the first cars that are single file. Wait, no, never mind. Here comes Angel Gutierrez trying to attack Zachary Fitzwater. He's going to have the preferred line down here in turn number 9, but I think Fitzwater will be able to keep this spot. We'll see. Gutierrez lunges it in. Fitzwater, ooh, they door a little bit there. Side by side, it's going to be another right-hander, so Gutierrez is going to be in the preferred position. Fitzwater kindly gets on the curb, and Gutierrez, how about Angel Gutierrez up to third? Very good run for this Quaker State Chevrolet. The last time Angel Gutierrez has won a Right Lane Cup Series race, it was the Season 1 finale at Charlotte, driving for the now defunct West Falls Motorsports. Ironically, was in a green car that day. Can Gutierrez catch back up, but he's got a long way to go because these two are your race leaders, Sanders and Finguy. Sanders has been able to open up a second and about 2/10 over the 92. It's Gutierrez, Fitzwater, and Onjak. Rowe is catching back up to this group. Fitzwater missed the corner. He had a bad exit. Here comes the 5. Onjak trying to get into the top 5, or trying to get to 4th. He's already in the top 5. This would be a great run for Peter Onjak. Something he desperately needs. He was in the top 10 in points for much of the start of the season. And then he had a couple of bad runs that have soured that. He's trying to rally the troops, so to speak. And we've had a trouble on the racetrack. We'll sort that out later. Alexander Rowe back to 6th. Lamas has been able to hold off Shrigley in the 63. There's Ryan Reed, the JDRF sponsored Dodge. Little Falls Motorsports, or that 75 and the 57 team, they have had a very good run here. They've had a very good track record at qualifying last year. This year they kindly have slipped a little bit, but maybe this, at the halfway point of the season, this will be a good turning point for them. Christian Vargas trying to still on his climb in the points. He needs a good run, especially after last week. Here you see he's trying to get into the 11th spot around Caesar. Stephen Colon, another driver that has been trying to improve his points position. He has been kind of the 4th wheel at that Honda factory team. Of course, the rumor is that Honda will re-sign him for next season. Man, you see right there, Vargas and Caesar are not giving each other any inches. Vargas is going to take the 11th spot from Caesar. Jesse Turner is moving forward with DJ Curtis. Curtis, who won last week in a thriller at Pikes Peak. He was 4th on the last restart with a 1-lap shootout. He put 4 tires on. He passed Charles Sanford for 3rd and Ben McDonald for 2nd in one corner. And then he blew past Lane Sanders, who's leading this race, and won the whole event. We asked Curtis about it this week. He said, "We just made the good call. We didn't know that we were the first car on 4 tires, but it worked." We asked him what he thought about coming here, and he said, "Well, we'll see how it falls." And it's so far a very decent week for him. Logan Cloud, another Lake Effect car. Then there's Vince Freeze, someone we thought would run great here. He's run good here in the past, but a 17th spot. This 9 car, this whole 9 team is just, a little off this season. We asked Vince Freeze about it again, and Freeze said, "We're still trying to iron some things out. Look for us in the second half of the season." There's R.J. Bishop having another good run. There's Luke Evans, your points leader, is back here in 19th with his teammate, Derek Hamill. Luke Evans, they asked a couple of weeks ago, I remember we spoke to Luke Evans, and we asked him about the upcoming tracks, what he's fearing the most, and he said the road courses. He is very admitted he is not a good road course racer. But he said once we can get through that, I believe we can get back to it. Of course, Derek Hamill, first-time winner at Nashville a couple of weeks ago, is back here. Luke Martin is in 21st. There's Nick Breeding. Taylor Frey is here. There's Henry Thomas, Tim Fiegel, Aiden Smith. Another driver top 10 in points, needing a good run. Griffin Label McDermott, another driver that needs a good run who's top 10 in points. Austin Murray, that is the 5th Honda Factory Team car. They've been running part-time this season. They've been busting it. They bust Murray up here to Canadian Tire this week. He normally runs in the Truck Series. Now fighting the Season 2 champion for a spot. Wyatt Junkman. Then there's Dio Yepes with Alexander Phoenix, another driver who is very high up in the points, and he's not doing any good. Speaking of not doing any good, that's Ben McDonald in 34th. He's got all the Crossroads cars behind him. Ben McDonald qualified terribly, has been running terribly, and it's just overall, it's not been a good week for him. He just says the car, he can't get the car to run like how he wants it. Of course, Charles Sanford, that 19 car failed tech inspection, so they had to go to the rear. And I believe the last car, you see it there, was the 00. We believe Ryan Griffin has had an issue. Oh, what was that? Oh no, Jeffrey Finguy has blown a motor. Finguy has blown the motor from second place. Oh no. Finguy, oh, don't get stuck. If he gets stuck, he might bring out a caution flag. No, I think he's still going to get going. Finguy from second spot. He has said the transmission has blown up. Oh, no, Finguy. And you saw it. He was on the back bumper of Lane Sanders. He was catching the leader. And now Finguy. Oh, that's got to be terrible for him. See all those cars going by him up the hill. That is such a shame for Jeffrey Finguy. Yeah, that car is trailing smoke. I think that's terminal. Finguy qualified on pole. He was running very well. And you see that car looks like it's going to end up finishing deep, deep in the field. This has suddenly opened the floodgates for Lane Sanders, though. As you see him coming down the hill right where his adversary blew a motor. And we've talked about the Sanders-Finguy rivalry. These two, all, especially early on in the series, those two always seem to be around each other, and they always seem to be fighting each other for position. Sanders now on his own. Andrew Gutierrez is suddenly in the second spot. That shifts Fitzwater to third, Onjak to fourth, and Cody Lamas, the rookie, in the fifth. This would be the first top 5 run for that 48 team since the Daytona 500, when there were 3 Fitzwater cars in the top 5. There have been rumors about Fitzwater Australia Racing floating around as they are considering expanding to a 5th team. Who that car would be, we don't know. See Ryan Reed, that's going to put Christian Vargas into the top 10. It's much needed points, and I believe this helps, out of everybody here, this helps Christian Vargas the most. With Finguy blowing a motor, with Ben McDonald deep in the field, with Luke Evans and Alexander Phoenix deep in the field. Vargas is, we spoke about at the start of the year about Christian Vargas and how there is a legitimate championship run for this 39 car. Of course, the start of the year was miserable for that team. Terrible run in the 500. Terrible run at Phoenix. Terrible run at Atlanta. But since then, he's been racking up top 5s and top 10s. Just trying to put that Target-sponsored Chevy for Spa. This would be Spa's first legitimate championship run in a long time. Actually, I think in the first series history, it would be their first legitimate championship run if they can gain points on everybody else. Of course, around him, there are a lot of guys that are just looking for good days. And, of course, I think coming out after this race, you see Lamas scoots past the number 5 of Peter Onjak. This is going to be a very topsy-turvy day in the points. But Lane Sanders, that man right there, has led all the laps thus far. He leads on lap number 10. This has been the Right Lane Cup Series, Season 3, race number 10, here at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Lane Sanders going down the hill. That is your race leader. We'll be right back right after this.
For every turn, a twist. For every start, an untimely finish. For every win, someone who loses it. For every number, a nation. For every celebration, a brawl. For every split second, years of work. For every heaven, a hell. For every good old boy, a good old girl. For every curse, a prayer. For every ounce of order, a jug of chaos. For every twist, there's a turn.
Okay, now, what do you do next?
Floor it?
Yes. No, don't floor it.
Floor it?
No, don't floor it.
Okay, floor it!
No.
Welcome back to the Right Lane Cup Series, Season 3, race number 10, here at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park here at Mosport. Lane Sanders is your race leader. He's opened up about over 3.5 seconds over Angel Gutierrez. And then it's Zachary Fitzwater in third. Cody Lamas is fourth. Alexander Rowe has been able to get past Peter Onjak. That is your top 5. Fitzwater has been able to move in on the 52 of Angel Gutierrez. Meanwhile, while the two of them fight, Lane Sanders continues to open up his lead. We'll go ahead and talk about Angel Gutierrez because this has been a very interesting development for a team. As we mentioned earlier, Gutierrez is a winner in the Right Lane Cup Series. Won the Season 1 finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That team, Gutierrez then went and started his own team. Gutierrez Renegade Racing. And they have struggled. They struggled for much of last season. They were on the D&Q list quite a few times last year. In the off season, Spa moved over to Chevrolet. You see Fitzwater having a little issue there. Spa moved to Chevrolet. They've started their engine program, and Gutierrez reached a partnership deal with Spa, and now they run Spa Motors, which has helped the performance for this team a lot. And I think we're going to see the 52 team start to really start running very well. I think Gutierrez did D&Q once this season, but since then has moved that car into the top 35 discussion, doing very good job thus far. And another driver doing a very good job is Cody Lamas in that 48 team. One of the biggest movers in the field so far. Lamas, the rookie, is on the back bumper of his de facto boss, Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater, a very well-accomplished road racer. One of the best in the field, I might add. Both of them putting the blue ovals right up here into the top 5. I believe it was expected coming into this week that there would be a Fitzwater car in the top 5, as well as a Finguy car. There was. If you're just joining us, Jeffrey Finguy, they've been able to actually diagnose the issue on that 92. It was a camshaft failure. which put that 92 out of the race. But yeah, we were expecting a Fitzwater car in the top 5. We were expecting, honestly, it wasn't even Fitzwater. Vince Freeze, we came into this week, a lot of people were expecting Vince Freeze to turn it around. But that hasn't happened. Christian Vargas was another driver we expected. And he's fallen out of the top 10. Vargas has suddenly started complaining that he's burnt up the rear tires and he can't get the power down. And that's very important at a road course. When you're trying to, when you downshift and you upshift, and you try to get everything going, especially when you're in these high-speed corners. Because, mind you, we're going to get down here to turn 5s and 6. Or turn 6 and 7, excuse me. We're going to get out of turn 7. You're going to have to use all that power to get up the hill. And if you're burning off the tires like Vargas has moving up through here, it's not going to be good. Joseph Shrigley has fallen back to 8th, the hometown driver. Got a very loud round of applause and driver intros this morning. Was able to put that Tracker Boats Chevrolet into the top 10. And Joseph Shrigley running a very patient race. He knows how to run patient races. He's run, and I've spoken to him about what he's done here. He's run Trans Am. He's run Trans Am cars here. And you learn, he said, that's something you learn when you do road course racing like that. You learn how to be patient, especially on the road course side of things. Because you cannot just barrel it off in the turn 1. You can't win a race on a road course on lap 1. You can't really win a race anywhere on lap 1. But especially here on road racing, where it's a whole different breed of skill that is needed, you're going to see drivers, the whole new cast of characters run up front here. You're going to see, you know, your Shrigley's, your Fitzwaters, your Gutierrez's, your Sanders, even him. You're going to see all these different drivers come up to the plate because that's their bread and butter. That is what they are able to do. And Shrigley running in P8, I got to give him an attaboy. Julio Cesar, another driver that deserves an attaboy, running in the top 10. We expected him to run very well as well. The Brazilian doing a very good job. There's Vargas, excuse me. Logan Cloud, another big mover. He was about 15th last time we saw him. He is now up to 12th. Stephen Colon back to 13th. Vince Freeze, another mover, is up to 14th. Freeze might be able to get a top 10 yet, but mind you, he'd probably need a caution. And you see, there is Jesse Turner looking back through the field. There's Ben McDonald. We saw Ben McDonald. He is going to do very bad in the points as of right now, unless a big shakeup happens. Lane Sanders still your race leader. Gutierrez has fallen back to 6 seconds above Fitzwater. I think Gutierrez, I believe, I'm not going to say is holding up Fitzwater, but the two of them have definitely, they're definitely not gaining on Sanders while the two of them are running. And that's why, you know, behind them, this whole group has ganged up behind the 52 and the 59, the 10, the 48 and whatnot. Because they just, because the two of them aren't gaining any ground on Sanders. And we're going to see it again, I believe. Sanders did slow up a lot there, or he gained time. More 3/10 lost. And looking back, Peter Onjak is in 6th. We talked about Peter Onjak, how he needs to gain spots. He needs good runs to get back to the top 10 in points, where he was for a good many weeks before, you know, he had several issues, crashes and whatnot. He's eyeing a top 5 today. If he can get a move on and gain a second or so on the 10, which with this many laps left in the race is not impossible. Shrigley, of course, there's Caesar, but getting past the 29. Logan Cloud is on a charge. I'm telling you. He's gotten past Vargas. He's looking to get past the 29. Yeah, he's going to get 2 cars in 1 lap. How about Logan Cloud? I've never, we've never thought. Well, yeah, he won Watkins Glen last year on his birthday. Cloud using some of his road course skills, putting him to good use. He's going to get to 9th in 1 lap. How about that for Logan Cloud? Cloud up to 9th. That's going to put Andrew Thomas, the highest running Honda, into the top, back into the 10th spot. And how about this? For Andrew Thomas. Thomas doing a very good job. Has been on the cusp of the top 35 battle. That's something we've been bringing up a lot today, because a lot of those drivers, a lot of those teams that are down there happen to be very good road course racers. Shrigley, Gutierrez, Andrew Thomas was locked into the field because they purchased owner's points. And that 29 car has been running between 20th and 30th most weeks. Trying to get a good run here, a top 10 would go a long way for that team. But Thomas with Scooby-Doo on the hood with Tubi as their sponsor. It's rumored they might see a sponsorship shakeup after this season, as Tubi has indicated to them that they might not return after this first season with the team. Which is a shame, I will say personally, because it's always fun to see what scheme they're bringing to the track every week. It's always a new fun cast of characters, so to speak. There's Christian Vargas. There's Stephen Colon. Turner. There's RJ Bishop, DJ Curtis, Luke Evans. Luke Evans, the points leader, has managed to make it up to 17th. And we spoke earlier about Christian Vargas, of all drivers, needing a good run. Needing the other team, mainly the points leaders, having a bad run. There is Evans in 17th. There's Breeding in 18th. Both of them top 10 in points. Ben McDonald and Alexander Phoenix are really the two that are going to suffer in the points this week. Because the only driver that I see that's very high in points is Zachary Fitzwater. He's actually been passed by Cody Lamas. Charles Sanford is on the pit lane. Sanders comes through. 7.7 seconds. I believe Sanford had an issue on the 19 car, and that's going to put him a lap down. A shame for that group, especially because they won a Darlington race, and now they were on the up and up, had a top 5 last week, and now, an issue hurting their chances in the points. Breeding Enterprises was trying to get all their cars top 5 in points. We spoke to their team manager, said, that's our goal. We want all 3 cars top 5 in points. We think it's very doable. And I'm sure, and it seemed very doable with how they were running. But now, it's just with Sanford having issues, Breeding running mid-pack, Ben McDonald having a terrible day, it's just, I don't see that happening for that team. Looking back, a couple of Fords fighting back here. RJ Bishop, DJ Curtis, Breeding. Luke Evans loses another spot. That's Taylor Frey. Frey finally having a halfway decent run. That Dodge SRT sponsored Dodge Challenger, finally having a good day, 19th. That car, we were talking about how that team might be able to get a win this year. We talked about at the start of this season how they might be able to get a top 10. We've had trouble on the racetrack. The caution flag is out. The caution is out. Lane Sanders. Oh, this ruins everything for Lane Sanders. That's going to bring everybody back to him. The caution flag is out. What happened? Alexander Phoenix is blowing up. I don't think that was the cause of the caution. I wonder what could have happened there. Ryan Reed in 40th. We missed Reed Reed had a tire go down, and they had to come to pit lane. I'm trying to look at what happened here. There's a couple of cars missing. I believe we don't see the 40. That's the 40 of Aiden Smith we don't see back there. He likely might have been the caution. We'll have to go take a look. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get a replay and check out what has happened. And we've been able to find, we've caught up with Aiden Smith, and we've caught up with Austin Murray. You see Murray, Murray slid into the 40, and oh, wow, oh my goodness. Aiden Smith flipped over into the barrels with the 88 of Murray. Wow, what a crash. Oh, that was a hard hit for both of those guys. Here's another look at it. You see, yeah, Murray slipped up, Smith went down, and oh my goodness, they caught the end of the barrel, and that's what sent them over. Wow, what a hard hit. This is on board with Ben McDonald. He had a front row seat to seeing all that. Oh, wow. What a crash. So they've extricated Aiden Smith and Austin Murray out of their cars. Murray was taken to the infield care center, and they've taken Aiden Smith into the infield care center as well. Both of them walked away from their cars. Well, that was a very hard crash for the both of them. So Lane Sanders is your race leader. Angel Gutierrez is second. Cody Lamas, Zachary Fitzwater, that's third and fourth. And then Alexander Rose, your top five. If any of them have anything for that 0-1, it's got to come now. This is the one chance that they have. And caution, if a caution were to come out again, the race would be over. We'll see what's going to happen. It's one to go. The pace car is going to dive onto pit lane. Lane Sanders brings us back down to the green flag. Sanders stacked up the field a little bit. We're racing again. 3 laps to go. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater to the inside of Lamas, his teammate. Fitzwater he's got to make a move. He's got to get forward. Up to third. He has got to go if he's going to do it now. Fitzwater, he's kind of backed up the rest of the field. A couple cars moving forward. That's the 94 and the 66. That's the only 2 cars side by side going down the hill. Gutierrez, Angel Gutierrez trying to get his second career Right Lane Cup Series win. Lane Sanders is trying to get his first Right Lane Cup Series win. The whole field throws it into turn number 7. Everybody scrambling, getting up the hill. Sanders gets away a little bit. About 8 or 9 car lengths, just like he did at the start of the race. Gutierrez trying to catch up to a de facto teammate, not a full teammate. Fitzwater has gotten away from Lamas. Looking back, watching the field come through here. Everybody trying to make moves. And everybody's doing a great job. Oh, trouble! Oh, trouble! Charles Sanford is in the fence. He's a terrible day for Sanford. Has gone the worst. Patrick Colon is in it. They've collided and they've crashed. Will that bring out a caution? It was 2 cars. It was more than 1 car. Will it bring out a caution? We'll wait and see. That could change everything. Gutierrez a second back from Sanders. Fitzwater trying to catch the 52. Sanders trying to get away. The caution is out. The caution flag is out. That is going to end the race. Sanders has got to get back to the start-finish line, and then he can win. Gutierrez I don't think can catch Lane Sanders. Fitzwater trying to catch the 52. Lane Sanders through turn 9. Coming through 9, coming through 10. He's going to take the caution and the white flag together. Sanders leads us back to the caution flag, and we're on the white flag now. I think that is the race. It is the race. If Sanders can make it around, he will have finally won in the Right Lane Cup Series. The pace car he's gonna pick up the pace car. What was it? We caught that live, what had happened, and we're gonna get you another replay and see what happened between the 00 and the 19. And we saw it coming up. We caught it going through the field, watching them come through turn 9, and you saw the 19 and the 00. Sanford had the freshest tires in the field. He got the wave around under that last caution, and it just I guess he washed up into the 00. Taking another look at it, we see Sanford gets to the inside, and yeah, I think he just turned right into the 00. Patrick Nolan, the rookie, probably didn't know he was there. Such a shame for Charles Sanford and for both these guys. As you see Sanders leading us back to the caution flag there. This is going to be the biggest tell, I think. This is on board with Charles Sanford. I don't know. That's a difficult call to make. But you saw it got in the tire barriers, and it tore that car all to pieces. Coming up through the hill on the final lap, we're under the Bridgestone Bridge, and now we're going to pass under the Canadian Tire Bridge. Lane Sanders, it looks like he is going to win this race. Gutierrez, a strong run in second. Fitzwater gets a top 5. So does his teammate Lamas. Alexander Rowe needed another good run, and he got it. Peter Onjak will get 6th. Shrigley, the hometown hero, will get 7th. Julio Caesar will get 8th, with Logan Cloud 9th, and Andrew Thomas, the rookie, in the top 10. But for Lane Sanders, this has been just an unbelievable year for Sanders. He's got all his teammates have won before him. He has come close so many times to winning a race. Has had so many heartbreaks. He's run good. And finally, Lane Sanders can punch his ticket and say he has been a Right Lane Cup Series winner. Checkered flag, Lane Sanders. Finally, a Right Lane Cup Series winner. How about that? Congratulations to Lane Sanders, to the 01 team, to Texaco Haviland, to Chevrolet, and to Sanders Performance Autosport. Their bosses finally won a Right Lane Cup Series race. Congratulations to Lane Sanders. We're going to go ahead and get you some replays to a couple of incidents that have happened earlier in the race that didn't bring out a caution. Get you those in a second. The first incident of note happened earlier on lap number 1. You see Ryan Griffin, he had to start at the rear due to an issue, and Tyler Edwards, the rookie, got in to Ryan Griffin, and he's in that tire barriers. That was some of the scuff marks we saw. Then Tyler Edwards drives away. You saw the 00 had an issue there. Griffin was able to get the car out of the barriers and keep moving, so we didn't get a caution. The second incident of note that happened was with the 41 car of Nick Gunther, the rookie. He collided with James Ellison, and he slid. Oh, he did the same thing Griffin did. He got into the tire barriers. Man, that turn 9 tire barrier has been getting a workout this week. You saw Sanford almost collided with Carson Green, and Ellison kept on going. The last incident of note that happened actually happened over in turn 5. Patrick Nolan got out of shape, trying to keep Charles Sanford behind him, and spun it out right there. He had no damage, and he kept on going. Now we've seen all that. Congratulations again to Lane Sanders and that whole team on their first Right Lane Cup Series win. Andrew Gutierrez will get 2nd, Fitzwater 3rd, Lamas 4th, Rowe 5th. That is your top 5. Thank you all so much for watching this very topsy-turvy race here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. This is the first half of the Right Lane Cup Series season underway. We've got another exciting half to get through, and if it's been anything like the first, we're in for a great championship battle. Thank you all so much for watching this race. Congratulations again for Lane Sanders, and we're going to get you your finishing results here in a moment.